Hello, everybody. Welcome back again to today's discussion. Today, we are going to discuss about a simple topic. It's very simple, and I have already mentioned it in previous discussion also, and I have presented it over the slide. That is the emotional adjustment and emotions in health and illness. Simply, we'll discuss that what is emotional adjustment, how we could adjust our emotions, and when and emotions could not be adjusted, or when we have maladaptive adjustment behaviors related to emotions, what could be the effect to the health and illness of particular individual. So today we are going to discuss particularly on the emotional adjustment and its effect upon the health and illness. So let's proceed with the next discussion, that what we are going to discuss in this particular uh, discussion. Okay, now today in continuation we are going to discuss about what is a simple introduction about what is emotions, what are the emotional adjustment and its definition, what is the emotions in health and illness, that is what are emotions related to health and illness, and if emotions is affected, or if emotion is a good one or a positive emotions, then what how it is related, how it is relates to the health of a particular individual, and lastly we'll go to the summarization. So next we are going to discuss what is the introduction of the emotion. So emotions are described as the prime movers of behavior. That is, whenever I feel somewhat rude, I feel somewhat angry or anxious, I will automatically show that particular emotions or particular feelings towards my behavior. If I'm angry, I will be trying out my clothes, my items, my personal items. All this thing happens in my behavior. And whenever I am happy, I will be very cheerful. I will always be having a good gesture. All these things. So emotions are described as the prime movers of the behavior. That is, whenever emotions get affected, our behavior also show up. Emotional adjustment is an important task because it is one of the most important tasks, because whenever we must be very much aware about adjustment to particular emotions, and it is much important because adjustment during emotions lead to a normal behavior, whereas maladjustment leads to abnormal behavior. For example, we all know that whenever we have good emotion adjustment towards a particular emotions, automatically it will obviously lead to a normal behavior. But whenever we have a maladjustment behavior towards particular emotions, maladjustment, that is, whenever I feel happy, then I will be smiling, I will be having more energetic. Whenever, when we are happy, when we start to throw our things, when we start to shout, when we start to cry, and it is a kind of maladjustment behavior. So when we have a normal adjustment, we will have normal behavior. When we have maladjustment, when we have, then we will have an abnormal behavior. So these stirrup states and are storehouse of energy, which may work for both intense vigor and efficiency and strong disruption of mental states. So here it states that whenever there is emotional maladjustment, emotional improper adjustment, then it may lead to it may lead to disruption of a particular mental disturbances, mental physical, particular physical disturbances without towards a particular individual, or with the environment related to the particular individual. So there are many instances where even highly intelligent people fail to manage their emotions, and some average intelligent persons manage their emotions effectively and harmoniously. It is called emotional intelligence. That is, it doesn't mean that every individual will have a good adjustment towards a particular emotions, or towards a particular situation. So here we have find out that some intelligent people who are highly educated, who are well educated, who are well much socialized towards the society, they may fail. They might fail to manage the particular emotions. Whereas some average, some moderate intelligent peoples will have some uh, positive adjustment behaviors, so they can manage their emotions effectively and harmoniously. So when the capacity, the ability to manage particular emotions towards a particular situations in a very effective and harmonious way, it is called as emotional intelligence. Okay, so we have known about what are the introductions of a emotional adjustment. So next is the definition of emotional adjustment. So emotional adjustment, also referred to as personal adjustment or psychological adjustment is the maintenance of emotional equilibrium in the face of internal and external stressors. This is facilitated by cognitive process of acceptance and adaptation. An example would be maintaining emotional control and coping behavior in the face of an identity crisis. So simple definitions, what we could say in it regarding emotional adjustment is that it is also known as a psychological adjustment or a personal adjustment, where the emotion is equilibrium in the face of internal external stress. That is, I have internal conflict with my external environment. That is, I am not happy with my external environment, even though I am trying to maintain my emotional equilibrium. This is facilitated, this could be happen whenever when my cognitive process, my thinking process of accepting the environment and adapting to the particular environment. It doesn't mean that I must be always accepting the negative environment, negative stressors, negative external environments, or negative internal environment stressors also. So here what it means that whenever I'm having some particular sort of situations, and whenever I feel that my internal instinct and my external environment is not up to the mark, that I will accept that external environment, even though I'm trying to maintain my emotional equilibrium with acceptance, with accepting the fact that yes, it is a fact and it's happening right now in my situation, in front of me, and I'm trying to adapt to the particular environment. It is called emotional adjustment. For example, a student is kept in a hostel for the first time. So the child might feel that little homesick, might feel little lonely, feel like crying, might want to go back to the home with my family, with the family members. The child will feel that little uh, emotionally weak. But at that time, whenever the child cries out, whenever the child stops to eat, fails to take part in every activities, it is called as the personal maladjustment. Even though on the other side, if the child accept the situation that yes, I am right now in the hostel and I have to accept the situation because I am right, I'm coming here to study, I'm coming here to maintain my own personal skills, attitude, to develop myself, then the child is accepting and trying to adapt to a particular situation. That is called emotional adjustment. This capacity is an important aspect of mental health, and where it is compromised or not developed, psychopathology and mental disorder can result. So whenever we are having good emotional adjustment, there will be no mental problems, there will be no mental disorders regarding to this. So if not developed or if not compromised adequately, psychopathology and some sort of mental disorders can lead and it may affect the mental status of the particular individual. So emotional adjustment is much important to maintain our mental status. Next, we'll see what is emotional adjustment. What are the main meanings toward the emotional adjustment? Being a human being is considered as a rational being. We consider ourselves as one of the most important human organism. But in the grip of emotions, people behave like immature. That is, whenever we are totally drive by our own emotions, we act like an immature individual. So some people may break down completely, cannot take proper decisions, and make people even collapse in severe emotional arousal because of serious changes in vital systems such as heart, lungs, brain, etc. Here I want to explain simply is that we being as a rational human being, we know how to adapt to a particular situation. We know how to cope up with some maladaptive behaviors also. We know how to behave in a particular environment. We know how we must react with a particular situation also. So at that time, whenever the emotions are strong, or whenever the emotion is strongly driving an individual, the person start to react in an immature way. Sometimes people may be break down completely, could not take food properly, could not adjust to a particular environment. For example, when I'm very much stressed up, I could not take any proper decision. I will be very frustrated, I will be very angry, I will shout to whoever came and try to talk to me. And this sort of things happen to every individual. It doesn't mean that every individual is perfect, and individual have some sort doesn't will not have emotional crisis also. So with this thing, there will be some sort of changes in our vital organs such as heart, lungs, brain, etc. So for example, I'm very much angry, then my heart will start pumping fastly. I will have a palpitation, my brain I will feel like that my brain doesn't work properly. I'm having shortness of breathing. All these things happen related to particular emotions. So emotions adjustment is much important to maintain both mental health as well as the physical health. So here it usually want to say that thing. Okay, so emotional adjustment. Emotions may hamper the studies of the students also and occupation of the people. In some people, emotions may lead to crimes. Okay, because people lose reasoning power and their ability to control behavior is hampered. Hence, emotional control and management is very essential for an adjusted life. For example, let's take an example. For example, there is a girl is being raped. It's one of the most common situation in our country. However, we'll take a simple example: a girl is being raped. So she has a brother, five brother. Out of the five brother, one will all out of this five brother, all will have almost all the family members will have some emotional disturbances. You will not know what to do, what we are going to take our next step, why what we are going to do with our own life. They will feel some sort of disturbances in their life after the particular incident. So out of those five brothers, one will be having some emotional adjustment capabilities, will try to accept the situation very difficulty and will try to adapt to the particular environment. However, out of those five, one will be driven by strong emotional power like sad. He is very much frustrated, he is very much sad, so he will lose some control towards his behavior, and his behavior will be totally hampered. At that time, that particular person will somehow have the probability of leading to a crime, that is trying to kill somebody else to maintain the emotional adjustment. So this thing happened in some sort of individual which have low emotional adjustment capabilities. So it happens also with the student. When students are being scolded by parents, they feel very sad and their emotion could not be maintained. They start to cry and did not be able to concentrate on their study. Same with goes with the workers in a particular organization. So emotional and control and management is very much essential to adjust and live in a particular environment. Clear? So emotions and health and illness. Now we will discuss how emotions affect the health and illness. According to research in human communication, research says that expressing affectionate feelings you have towards your partner lowers cholesterol level. Here it says that whenever a partner, for example, let's take an example that a husband is very frustrated. Whenever he shared his emotions, his feelings with his wife, it usually lowers the cholesterol level. It will usually lower the cholesterol. Then the heart function will be effective. The lungs function, the lung, heart, lung, brains, all some sort of organs will function effectively. Okay. Next point is fighting and argument delays the healing process. For example, I'm fighting with my younger sister. I'm always arguing with my parents. So it delays the healing process. For example, I'm get infected, and when I'm starting to fight, when I'm always fighting, arguing with a family member, the healing process get delays. It's also based on the research work. So when you bottle things up, that is when you pile up your emotions up. It means that the people who holds the anger for a longer duration are at risks of heart attack, stroke, and cancer. It also impatience and irritability. For example, I am holding my anger towards my mother for almost 1 to 2 months. So I have a high chance of having heart attack, stroke, and cancer. So it also causes impatience and irritability for me. So according to scientists at Ohio State University, a 30-minute argument with your partner can slow down your body's ability to heal by at least a day. This is under the influence of the cytokinase, which can even cause arthritis, diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. Simply, research find out that whenever I'm having a 3-minute argument with my partner, I will have a healing delay of 1 day as compared to an individual who have a normal emotional adjustment and who doesn't usually argue with their partner. Simply is this step. Okay. So next point are falling in love raise level of nerve growth factor for about a year. It induces a calming effect on both the body and the mind. For example, a boy fall in love with a girl, so it automatically increase level of nerve growth factor in the boy's body for about a year. and it induces a calming effect on both the body and the mind of that particular individual. So depression, pessimism, and apathy affect our health in several ways. Whenever I feel depressed, whenever I feel low mood, whenever I feel very pessimistic, that is very unsocialized towards every individual, then it will usually affect my health also. So low mood is linked to low level of serotonin, dopamine. So whenever I am having low mood, I will have low level of serotonin, dopamine, and the feel good neurotransmitter in the brain. So it is kind of neurotransmitter that helps me to feel good and active participation in the environment. So when I have low mood, usually when I have been depression, apathy, automatically the serotonin and the dopamine level will go down in my body. Laughing increase stress and prevent many diseases, and emotional tears were found to contain high level of the hormones and neurotransmitters associated with the stress. So it is clear that whenever we are having any emotional disturbances, we must try to share our emotions with the might be it might be my parents, it might be my siblings, it might be my close friends also. And whenever there is argument in the partners also, they must share within themselves also. So it will reduce the physical health crisis like heart cancer, heart stroke, uh, cancer, some sort of physical organ disease like that. So emotional sharing is much important to prevent both physical and mental illness. So how emotion is related to health? Let's see. Emotion plays a big role in how we think and how we behave. It affects of psychologist tells, for example, when we're angry, our psychological states will get affected, and therefore our bodies will also get affected. We'll get palpitation, we'll get high body heat, our body starts to produce heat, our body to have sweating, all these things. So because what psychological is ultimately biological, so it means that psychologically and biological are interrelated. What we feel psychologically is ultimately expressed or ultimately show up in our biological way. So for instance, chronic anger and depression make us vulnerable to all kinds of health problems such as hypertension, cardiovascular disease, and infections. So whenever we always time feel angry, when we always feel depressions, all these two things mainly cause some sort of health problems like hypertension and cardiovascular disease and some sort of infection. So psychologically and biological both are closely related, and how we perceive things and how we think toward a particular situation, particular stimulus is how we behave also. Clear? So poor emotional health can weaken body's immune system, vulnerable to infection during emotionally difficult times. For example, I am having a poor emotions, I have a maladaptive behavior towards some every emotional status also. So my immune system will be lower down, and I will be very vulnerable to some sort of infections during emotionally difficult times. Okay, so when you don't feel good, whenever I don't feel good, you may not take care of your health. Whenever I feel very low, and whenever I feel very sad also, I don't usually pay attention to my health status or my health. I usually forget to take bath. Happens sometimes. I usually forget to eat in time. I usually forget to spend my time outside the environment. I usually confined to a particular room in a corner. So we must take care of ourselves very much well. Okay, may not feeling like eating, as I have mentioned, exercising, taking medicine. So abuse of alcohol and tobacco and other drugs may also be initiated, and it is a sign of poor emotional health. So whenever we found a man drinking alcohol, we usually ask why you drink, why you start, when did you start drinking, why do you start drinking? The person will say that I feel like that and I don't have anybody to share upon. I feel lost about my life. I think that my life is not I'm purposeful, and I have break up with my partner. I have got divorced with my wife also. All these things, and these things are emotional basis. And if these emotions or feelings are not set up, automatically they will take some sort of action to relieve their emotions, to make themselves relax also. So poor emotional health may lead to some sort of weakening immune system, doesn't feel to do much care about your own health. So today, simply we have learned about what is emotional adjustment, how emotional adjustment affect our body in both physically as well as mentally. So emotional adjustment is also known as personal adjustment as well as psychological adjustment. It is to maintain equilibrium between the external and internal stressors also. So emotions affect our body various way. In physiologically, it may cause infection, it may weaken our immune system, it may also cause some sort of heart problem, cancer, all these things. And if it is maintained properly, we can have a good life, and long going life. And whenever we have good emotional adjustment, we will have a uh, longer, we'll have shorter healing time, we will have uh, some sort of good behaviors, good attitude, good personality, all these things will be emerged. And whenever we doesn't have some proper emotional displacement or emotional adjustment, we'll start using some sort of drugs like alcohol, drugs, caffeine, or some sort of narcotic drugs, all these things, and it will almost lead to uh, disturbances or affect your health status. So we have studied that the emotional adjustment definition, emotion of health and illness, and relation of emotion to health. So I hope that today we have discussed a topic, very simple topic, in a very briefly and with sort of example. And I hope that you all might have clear with today's topic, and hope that you have understood it well. So thank you very much and have a nice day.